gonna call this story Once Upon a Time at Jeremy's House. The year was probably about 1997, 1998. My school, we had these things called college days. You could basically take the day off and go visit the college and see if that might be somewhere you're interested in going. And so me and my buddy Jeremy decided to take one of these college days, and we was going to go over to a college in Oak Ridge, which was probably about, 30, 40 miles from where we lived. And so his mom worked graveyard and his sister did too. And so needless to say, we stayed all night at his house to get up to go to his college day the next day. Well, at some point my friend allocated his mom's Golden Grain liquor. It's basically like PGA. It was like cheap Everclear, and that's bad because Everclear is pretty cheap. So we got into that mess. We started making flaming Dr. Peppers and was just having a good time. Everything was going well. The night progresses a little bit, and you kind of start feeling numb all over. That stuff really got on top of us, and pretty much all we could do just to sit on the couch. Well, came to be about bedtime, and Jeremy crawled into his mom's room for some reason, and I crawled into his sister's room. His sister was smoking hot. She was about 6 years older than us, so she had already been to college to be a nurse and all that, so she was so hot. I think secretly she wanted me, even though outwardly you would think that I disgusted her. I think it was just this little silly game we used to play, like, hey, how are you? And she's like, get away from me, stranger danger, stranger danger. And just cute little games. That was our way of flirting, so anyway, so I ended up crawling into her bedroom to go to sleep. And if you've been there, if you've ever been too drunk and you're laying there, you're trying to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden everything starts spinning. Start getting the bed spins really, really bad. When you know that you've overdone it, you'll have the bed spins. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to puke. And if there's anything in this world that I hate to do, I hate to puke. Oh gosh, especially when it comes out your nose and stuff. I hate to puke. I will fight puking all I can until that's my last option. So there I was in his sister's bed, and I got the bed spins, and I was pretty much numb. We were probably close to alcohol poisoning. I was pretty much numb, and getting up to go to the bathroom was not an option at this point. It's kind of one of those things, you feel it coming, and you want to look around for anything you can, wastebasket or anything. Well, it was coming, and I wasn't going to be able to stop it. So I'm looking around. I didn't want to puke in a carpet or anything like that, so I just pulled her nightstand drawer out and just puked that thing full. Oh god, it was so bad. Then I just shut the drawer back, and I had to puke another time or two, so I just opened the drawer and puked in the drawer and everything else. Well, kind of find out it was her panty drawer. She really did not appreciate what happened in there. I think that's really when things started to fall apart for me and her, because she started getting more serious about the don't ever freaking talk to me again crap. I don't know. So maybe she was still flirting. I don't know. We didn't end up together, but I'm sure that she still regrets that we didn't, but that's beside the point. So anyway, wake up the next morning, feeling like just hammered ass. Wake up and I go to get my buddy, and at some point in the night I puked kind of down my shirt and on my arm. Kind of just got it pretty much just everywhere. This was my first hangover. First, and I would say probably the worst ever. And go in there and get my buddy, and he's in there in his mom's bed, and my hair's all jacked up right now, but his hair on this side was kind of doing like kind of one of these numbers. But the thing about it was it wasn't bad head. I mean, it was bad head, but it wasn't bad head because he had obviously puked in his mom's bed and kind of slept in it. So he had puke in his hair, and it was just, it's so awful. But both of us felt so bad. We didn't take a shower. I mean, didn't even put on deodorant. Didn't change clothes. So here we go on our journey to Oak Ridge. And we get into Powell, and I needed something to drink. I just needed just something. I mean, I wanted to puke again. I felt so terrible. Walk into the Waggles down there. Kind of feel bad for this joke right here, but that's what it is. Walk into the Waggles down there, and I asked a lady, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." I said, "Can you tell me what's good for a hangover?" And she looked at me angrily and said, "Son, you know what's good for a hangover? Jesus. Jesus is good for a hangover." And I kind of just quipped off really quick. I said, "Well, what all can I find that on?" Well, she didn't really appreciate my joke, but anyway, got us something to drink and all that good stuff, and then here we go carrying on about our journey. So we finally get over to this college, go inside, and they give you pieces of paper that the college advisor, whoever you go to meet, guidance counselor, what have you. And it's basically a piece of paper for them to sign to say that, hey, you showed up for this trip and everything else. You wasn't just laying out and everything. So we get there. Mind you, I've got puke on my shirt, still kind of going down my arm. Jeremy's got puke in his hair. It's making his hair do this like rooster thing. Sun dried on his face, a little behind his ear. I mean, yeah, it was bad. So this dude comes rolling in, and all he can see is our backs because we were waiting in his office. That dude comes in there all chipper and everything else, and "Hey Jeremy, hey Rodney, you guys ready to have a good day?" And he turns around and he goes, "Whoa!" Here we both say that, look at him, both of us still about to puke and everything else. He says, "Y'all had a rough night, didn't you?" And we both kind of just shook our heads, yeah. He said, "Let me see them papers." So we got the papers and gave them to him. He signed them. He said, "Now y'all get your stinking asses out of here." And we left. So definitely showing up, puke all over you and everything else. Ugh. Obviously the admissions council doesn't like that. So on our way back home, I took us through a portion of Union County called Big Ridge. Big Ridge is like the most curvy back road that you could ever imagine in your life. It was so bad that about every 5 or 6 S-turns I was having to pull over so we could both puke. Finally got home, got laid down. My buddy Zick came over, made me drink a couple raw eggs. That made me feel better. And that was pretty much how the day went. So, going to college for a college day drunk, hungover with puke all over you, it is definitely highly uncalled for.